All right. We're back on the sideline. This is our special mini series here about talking 940 football preview. We're here with Coach Evan Hearn and our special guest, Memorial head coach and athletic coordinator, Coach Marc Bindel.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It's an honor to be on the podcast of On the Sideline.
Oh, look at that. Very well.
Thank you.
Very well. Nicely said. They're even cheering for you.
Appreciate it.
All right. So, I guess as you've learned, we're starting a new little mini series here. We're just, we don't have the resources to get out to every school, even though you're here locally.
You say you don't have the resources. This is unbelievable. I don't know if anybody in Wichita Falls has this set up.
Well,
might be the best kept secret in Wichita Falls.
Well, we hope so. There's a lot of money and effort that's gone into this
Best Buy card to say something on it.
Yeah, Best Buy, 2 of them. I got a personal one and maxed it out after maxing out my wife's or our joint one. So yeah, but anyway, that's beside the point. But we do appreciate you coming out. As you know, football is king in the state of Texas, and it's right around the corner.
That's right.
And we want to hear from you. I think the newspapers, the news channels, everybody has expectations. They have things written down on what's going to go down for Memorial football.
Oh, yeah.
But we think getting it from the head coach is going to be the best. So that's why we decided to do this. Yeah, pretty good source, I'd say. So I'll leave it to Coach Evan Hearn here. He's the one who kind of came up with the whole idea, and we're just making it happen.
Well, this is my head coach, and so we as a On the Sideline cast, we appreciate you for coming on today for us. So these questions that I'll be asking is different because you're in the transition of starting a brand new school. But let's start there. How was the transition? You were named after being at Ryder for 15 years, 10 as the head coach. How was the transition of Ryder into a brand new school of Memorial? How did that come past? I know personally it started in December, but could you enlighten our audience on that?
Yeah, so, we lost our final WFISD football game, WFISD football as it currently was, the day after Thanksgiving. So that was kind of over Thanksgiving break. And then really about a week and a half later, or really the next week, we did interviews for the new schools. And, obviously Coach Freeman of Old High, Coach Free. He says his dad is Coach Freeman. He goes by Coach Free. So Coach Free had been promoted to AD even before the season was started. So he and a committee interviewed myself, Lawrence Johnson. I'm not sure if they interviewed anyone else, but they did that maybe on a Monday, and then by Wednesday of that following week. So it was really a week and a half later I was named the head coach at Memorial. And pretty much since then, I've been drinking from a fire hose. It's been pretty crazy. The thing that helped me out the most probably was, right when we got hired, you got to name 3 coordinators. And so I was able to name, Josh Castles as our assistant head coach, Ross Dillard as the defensive coordinator. I'd worked with both those guys at Ryder, and then I was able to get Chris Robinson Evans as our special teams coordinator from Wichita Falls High School. And so right from the jump, those guys were able to help in the transition. But really what I think made the biggest leap was when, all the coaches and all the teachers really around the district got their letters, and it kind of said where they were going to go to school, what school they were going to work for. And at that point, that's when you got kind of your full staff. Mm-hmm. And that really helped me out, helped the coordinators out. I think it helped our players out too, just kind of getting to know who their coaches were. And so that was a huge step. And this guy over here I'm lucky enough that he was going to be on their staff at Memorial. And I think, I appreciate y'all having me on. I would say Evan Hearn is the next big head football coach in the state of Texas. And I just want him to remember all the little people like us when he's big and famous.
What do you say about that?
He's just talking about children.
He's the next big thing. That's a fact.
But I appreciate that he speaks highly of me, and he knows I think and appreciate all what he's done for my family and I. And so, in this transition of being a coach at a brand new schools, it's different as far as closing down 3 schools, turn them into 2. How are you bringing in 3 different cultures and trying to turn them into one?
God, it's a really hard thing to do. The way I've always been taught, from Coach Ponder and Coach Garfield. I even worked for Danny Edelman, who was coach at Hershey many, many years ago, and started my career with him. Was just investing in the kids, and so kind of made it a point every day to be around the kids from all 3 schools. And so, like myself, Coach Dillard, Coach Castles, we were going over to Old High every single day and making sure those guys were worked out and really not missing any days. We wanted to be in front of our players as much as possible to get to know them, start developing those relationships, because you can say everything you want to, but I think kids these days are not dumb, and they're going to believe your actions and not just what you say. And so we felt like it was important to show up every day and let them know that we were there and that they could trust us.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
At Orthopedics Express, our primary focus is delivering exceptional care to patients with orthopedic injuries, such as sprains, strains, broken bones, and joint pain. You'll receive the expert care you need when you need it most. Simply walk in or schedule an appointment through MyChart. Located inside the Center for Advanced Orthopedics, Orthopedics Express is your fast track to orthopedic care.
So I guess question I have, since we can't go off of record-wise of what you did last year, tell us some of the strengths of what you think the Memorial Mavericks team will be this upcoming season.
Well, there is a lot of experience coming back. Obviously, they don't have experience playing with each other, but I think we counted up. We have about 15 returning starters. I think from Ryder, there were 4 kids: Joe Castles, Kenji Johnson, Isaiah Watson, and Hunter Talley that started last year for us that are going to be at Memorial. I think there were 7 or 8 from Wichita Falls High School, like Jalen Layout, Braylon Kinsey, Christian Velasquez, Eric Powell. I'm going to forget a couple, I already know, but
That's all right.
Kenton Evans, I think, was one of them. So there were 7 from Old High. Joel Davenport, did I say Joel? And then Hershey, we actually only got 4 players from Hershey, and they're all 4 really good. And that's Isaiah Flores. He's been a 3-year starter. He's a stud, a great leader. Preston Pitts, Colton Carter, and Jaleel Claudrick. And so all 4 of those guys are going to impact us with leadership and obviously on the field as well. And so it's not like the cupboard's bare. It's just they're not used to playing with each other. And so that's when our job comes in of we've got to get them to believe in each other. And that's harder than you would think. It's not just about talent. If it was talent, then, Allen would win the state championship every year because they, God, they have 6,000 kids. Whew. It's not just about talent. It's got to be, there's more to it. And that's where the coaching comes in, and we've got a tough job ahead of us. But I think the kids are buying into what we're selling. So
That's a good thing. When I think of Memorial, starting new, I think back to like when the Houston Texans first came out, and you've got kids, you got players that can play at the level, and then, you just got to piece them together and hope that it starts clicking right away.
Sure.
And for you, I mean, expectations are high. Even though it's your first year, I think expectations are surely high.
Oh, yeah.
And so touch on that and what you think that whole thing's going to be about. Because, I mean, I don't know what the expectations are, but I'm sure you do. And what do you feel about that?
Yeah, so it's funny you said the Houston Texans because we have the same colors, same jersey makeup and everything, same colors. People talk about outside pressure a lot. I don't think what they realize is there's probably more pressure internally to have success. I mean, I don't think our kids want it and our coaches want it really even more so than the outside. So the outside pressure is really inconsequential to what the pressure that we put on ourselves to have success. And so, since I've, coached, since I've been a head coach, we haven't missed the playoffs. And so that's one of our goals. Last year was the first time in 15 years that and really my first time in my coaching career that we won a district championship. And so there's pressure to do that again, regardless of what school they're at. And then we want to be playing football in December. And once you get in the dance, get into December, and then seeing what happens from there. See if you can go win a state championship. And that's always going to be the goal. Now, you've got kids that maybe that wasn't their goal previously, but it's our job to get them bought in fast. And it's not going to go perfect. Mm-hmm. There's going to be some bumps in the road. We're not going to probably go undefeated. I hope we do, but odds are we may lose a game or two. And so how we respond to that, I think, will be the true testament to how good we're going to be as a team, because we're going to face some adversity.
Of course.
Every year. So how will we respond to that? And then we'll find out how good we're actually going to be.
You talked about two of your former Rider Raiders who are now Memorial Mavericks, and Joe Castles and Kenty Johnson. Could you tell us more about those two guys?
Well, yeah, first off, they're studs. Kenji was the district MVP last year of our district, really similar to the district we're going into, other than, we're adding Legacy, adding Lubbock Cooper, but kind of the same district we're going into. And so he did it all for us. He'd play defense too if we let him, but obviously he's very versatile running back. He's got great vision. He's got great vision, great patience, runs the ball well, can catch the ball at the backfield. I think we'll have to utilize him more in the passing game as well, get the ball in his hands any way we can.
Strong.
Great, really, really good running back. God dang good. And then, Joe is a coach's kid, 6'5", and watching him, I coached his brother Jed. Both Coach Hearn and I did. Coached his brother Jed, and so we remember Joe when he was like in 5th grade, maybe even younger, and watching him grow physically, but also mature-wise, and into the leader that he is. And he's a stud. He just recently picked up an offer from Louisiana Tech.
Is he a 25 or a 26?
He's a 26.
26.
He's a 26. So.
Wow.
He's really good, and I'm real excited about Eric Powell. Eric Powell was the running back coming over from Wichita Falls High School who, he's been on varsity since he was a freshman, and he, coaching against him, we knew how good he was, but I didn't really know how good he was. Watching him in spring, he's unbelievable offensive weapon. And so those three guys are going to be kind of the figureheads of the offense. We have a lot of different pieces. Jaleel Thomas, Jamari Dean, Preston Pitts, Roman Peel. There's a lot of different guys. We have Justin Judy. There's so many pieces that we have as well to fit with our O-line, but we're really excited about that core group of three guys offensively and what they can do.
Yeah, so you touched on the offense. Let's
Coach, can I just say that Coach Hearn hadn't coached a day in his life. He's coached guys like Anquan Willis and Kenji Johnson. These guys are college. Eric Powell, these college
Jordan
running
Gibbs.
backs. The only guy that's had it easier maybe has been our D-line coach or our quarterback coach.
There's 4 of those guys.
Yeah.
So you touched on offense. Who's your defense? Who's your defense led by? What are you excited about there?
Well, I'll tell you, there's not a bit better leader than Isaiah Flores. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be a 3-year starter coming over from Hershey, and he was a back-to-back Red River 22 guy, and he's a guy that we really, really, saw his name on the memorial list, and I reached out to him because we really wanted him because he went to McNeil, so I knew him a little bit, but I didn't know what kind of person he was. And he's a person of strong faith. He's such a strong character guy that he's the kind of brand of kid that we want at Memorial. And so obviously he's a good player, but even more so than that, I think his leadership and what he can bring to our team off the field, I think is going to have a lasting impact. And so he's going to make, we have some linebackers. We talked about Hunter Talley. He played H-back for us, and I'm sure he'll do some of that this year, but he's going to slide over to linebacker. Keegan McCraw, Josiah Grant, Jaden Wetzel. Those guys are going to round out the linebacking core. Isaiah Watson was a starter for us at Rider last year. He's going to slide in. And then the bigger question for us is D-line. We've got some pieces like Jalen Layout and Jaleel Claudrick from Hershey and Old High. And then we've got some guys coming in from Rider as well, like Dorian Coleman and Jesus Yanez. Eventually I won't have to say these guys are from a different school. Eventually, I'll
It's
just
like
say,
a college
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
now. You're naming their hometown.
it really
yeah.
is.
No, I think it's cool
Like
because
this.
he's like, from here and from here. And I'm just thinking, my whole mind is like, I'm playing Madden right now and I'm doing the Madden team, just creating
It
and
really
picking
is
this
like
guy
Madden
from this guy.
Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love
We
that.
we really do think that we have the pieces to have success, but I think more than anything, it's going to be what is our character, what is our camaraderie when things don't go our way. Because humans naturally, when things go bad, they resort back to their default, and we've all been brought up in different systems. We haven't coached these kids for long, and so will they fall back to, well, we don't trust these guys. They don't know what they're talking about. We don't trust that player. We don't trust that teammate. So if we can push through that, we really do think we have the team to have some success this fall.
And that, I think, is going to be a huge challenge for you and your coaching staff.
Absolutely. The biggest challenge.
yeah.
Not anything to do with X's and O's or scheme, or it's going to be that thing right there.
Yeah. The realtor we trust is Kim Roark, given to others with love. Kim was raised in this community and has been selflessly serving for over 20 years. Kim encourages everyone to thrive in their purpose. Kim is part of the Homes for Heroes program, where she gives back a portion of her commissions from each closing to all military, firefighters, law enforcement, healthcare, and educators who use her services. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Kim is the realtor for you. Go check out the website, homesforheroes.com. Since starting from scratch in 2020 by longtime resident of Clay County, Bob Belcher, Duck Creek Disposal has quickly become one of the most trusted waste disposal service and dumpster rental companies serving the 940 community and the surrounding areas. Local to the core, they take immense pride in being a part of the Wichita Falls community. Duck Creek Disposal's deep roots mean that every customer is treated like a neighbor. Their promise is to guarantee the best customer experience in the area, and they live by it. Whether you're a homeowner, contractor, or business, they've tailored their services to suit varied requirements. Bob's hands-on approach and belief in personal connection means that when you call Duck Creek Disposal, you're experiencing a standard of service that Bob himself envisioned. You talk to real people, not a machine. Go give Bob a call at 940-257-5660. Serving the 940 community for 12 years, Allegiance Electric and Controls is the trusted go-to for commercial and industrial electrical solutions. Contact them for reliable, tailored services to keep your operations running smoothly. Please call or visit their website at aecllc.com. For all your paving and concrete needs, we trust Freeman Paving, LLC. Located in Vernon, Texas, Freeman Paving is our recommended business for concrete, paving, and dirt work. They have over 20 years of experience working right here in our community. Next time you need any concrete work, give them a call, 940-552-9496. If you're looking to treat yourself to a delicious dessert, then Yogurt Journey is the place to be. Yogurt Journey offers 12 delicious flavors of frozen yogurt with over 60 topping options. If you want something warm instead, stop by to enjoy an amazing funnel cake, fried Oreos, fried brownies, or fried candy. Yogurt Journey also offers frozen yogurt rolls, waffle frozen yogurt rolls, and smoothies. If you need a cake for your next celebration, Yojo provides custom frozen yogurt cakes. Yogurt Journey is located on Kemp Street across from Barwise Middle School and is open daily from 12 to 9 p.m. For all your roofing related needs, we choose Assured Roofing and Construction. At Assured Roofing and Construction, their hard work is based off honesty, loyalty, and integrity, ensuring that every customer gets what they deserve and is happy and stress-free throughout the entire process. When any storm damage occurs to your roof, gutters, fencing, or siding, Assured will have you covered and help you from the initial free inspection to filing your claim, meeting with adjusters, and getting your damaged property fixed properly. Give AG a call at 940-782-1194. I got another question that I thought of, and this is kind of just jumping ahead a little bit. Obviously, Memorial plays legacy.
Yeah.
You're the first head coach for Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
How important to you is it to win that first game? I mean, this is going to be a huge rivalry for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just getting started. I'm looking forward to everything that's going to go on, all the, this and that and the events and stuff. I think it's just going to be awesome for Wichita Falls. But I'd like to hear what you have to say about the importance to you as the head coach for the first one.
Well, I'm not going to just say every game is important. because not every game is important. We played some games last year where the other team did not even want to be there. So, but with that being said, with this being the first one and the amount of hype that's going to go around it, I don't know. I've kind of felt like we've been through that a little bit. You know, nothing will ever top the last Rider Old High game.
Yeah.
The amount of fans that were there, the pressure of that game, and I mean, you had old Coyotes and Raiders coming back from when the school opened. Well, not Old High, but when the school opened. I don't think it's going to be the same. However, we're excited to play. Legacy's going to have a good team. We're excited to play them, and you know, where I would hope that we're playing for a district title. You know, I hope both schools will be playing for a district title, or possibly we're playing for a playoff spot. I always say this: I loved, in the last 2 years we didn't have it because Old High dropped down to 4A, but I loved playing the Rider Old High game the last week of the season because the atmosphere was and the intensity was just like a playoff game. And so it got you ready for the mindset that you had to have the next week going into the playoffs. And so I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited that it's that last week because I think the mentality you have to have going into the playoffs will be the mentality you have to have was at week 11.
And who knows? Like you said, you might both be playing for the district championship in that game.
That's right.
And that's going to be awesome. I think. That'd be cool.
Yeah, so you touched on your schedule a little bit. So talk to the audience. Tell us about your non-district schedule.
Yeah, so we're going to the first game. So we scrimmaged Decatur, which we're familiar with. Great, I like Coach Huff a lot, and they've had some great teams the past few years. We scrimmaged Decatur, then we open up at home against O.D. Wyatt, Coach Chris, and they went 7-4 last year. They got a lot of guys returning, very explosive athletes. And then we play Friendship, which is a big 6A, Coach Hearn's former school, on the road. We play Fort Worth Dunbar on the road. They're a lot of very athletic. And then our homecoming game is going to be against Andrews, September 20th. It'll be at home. They run a unique offense. It's like the slot T/wing T. They've got a 2,000-yard running back. And so the non-district schedule is pretty tough, but we've always scheduled tough because we want to.
That's what you want to be.
We got to find out where we're at.
Your non-district schedule's definitely got to be tough
That's
to prepare you. But
you cannot go into district where you're playing teams like Legacy and Abilene Wiley and Abilene Cooper and Lubbock Cooper and hadn't played anybody yet because you're not because then you don't know because you're going to be in the fire when you play those teams.
I mean, you don't want to be 4-0 with an average win margin of 54 points going into that district.
Playing nobody, never being tested.
So then, go ahead and talk about the district. Like you said, UIO, obviously, realignment every 2 years. Talked about who you lost, who we gained, and just go through the schedule.
Yeah, so we picked up, we lost Lubbock High, and we picked up Lubbock Cooper, and then obviously Legacy. And then obviously we lost Ryder and picked up Memorial. And so, we open up with Abilene Cooper at home. That's going to be a big game. They're going to be much improved. They've got a Division I defensive lineman. Their D-line's going to be really good. A lot of returning starters defensively. Then we play Palo Duro on the road. They had a 2 years ago, their freshman class was really, really good. And our freshman class was good also at Ryder, and they would battle for 2 years on the freshman and JV, and a lot of those guys were on varsity last year. And so Palo Duro is going to be really good these next 2 years with that class being juniors and seniors. We have a bye week, and then we play Abilene Wiley, always a tough opponent, and then Lubbock Cooper. I mean, I just don't like Lubbock Cooper. I don't know how to say it. They're so good. They're good. They're tough. They're well coached. More often than not, they've beat us, and so that's a game you always circle on your calendar because you're going to get tested. Coach-wise, physical-wise, the players are going to get tested. The coaches are going to get tested. You just know. And so they're going to be the district favorite, obviously, and that's a team that you got to beat if you want to win it. And then we have Plainview for senior night, and then we end with Legacy.
So real quick, I mean, you guys did pretty well last year. Last year, Ryder had a lot of success. How does last year's team compare to your excitement level, I guess, for this year's team?
Man, it's almost like two different sports, really. So last year, I just don't know. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. How would you even?
Oh, those guys were nuts.
The seniors.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a group I came in with, so I got to watch them grow.
Yeah.
You know, and so I had a special bond with those guys just because, like I said, I came in with those guys. But you can go ahead and.
Yeah. So last year, just that, that group had a lot of. They knew really from the get go that they were going to be the last group.
Mm-hmm.
Really, 3 years ago, they were going to be the last group to go through Ryder.
Yeah.
And I think they took that very seriously, and wanted to show out and did well. And I think this upcoming year, you've got a group of seniors from different schools that kind of have taken on that responsibility. They're the first group now, so they get to kind of set traditions, set standards, and so it's almost like the opposite of what we just went through, but different, but fun.
Yeah,
it's really unique.
And like you said, I think that the idea of let's do something special on the last year of Ryder, but now you got the kids saying let's do something special the first year of Memorial.
Let's set the tone.
So that's pretty cool. And you mentioned traditions, and I've kind of asked this a lot, but tell the viewers, do you have any traditions that you've set as a head coach, and or what do you have in mind for the Memorial Mavericks? Because you get to set it. You get to set or start any traditions that you choose if you think about it.
Yeah. We're kind of working through those currently right now. I know always I'm not going to say what it is because if you know, but there's always a certain pregame song that we play pregame, right? There's a certain song that we play. I can't reveal it. It's a secret, but
it's the same one from Ryder.
Yeah. We've done it forever since I've been there for 15 years, and so I'd like to keep that tradition going. But honestly, I feel like when the voters of WFISD or the voters of Wichita Falls voted for this, they really were giving the power to the kids. And so I honestly, these traditions, I don't want a whole bunch of adults sitting in a room making them up. I want the kids to be able to pick, hey, this is what we want to do. Now, we're going to do like how we get in stretch lines and things like that. Yes, that's how we're going to do a lot of things the same way. But as far as establishing traditions and doing different things, I want those guys to be able to figure it out and say, this is what we want. And they got the power to do it. They deserve it. And let them get after it and have fun.
Yeah, very good.
All right, my last question to you: what are the goals this year for the Memorial Mavericks?
Well, you want to establish your program, and I think it's going to take longer than just 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's the number one thing is you want to establish a connection and camaraderie as a team with player to player, player to coach, coach to coach, and then all three of those entities to the community, right? You want to establish and start to build your program. And then, and if you can do that, then you can see success down the road for many years. In the short term, however, we're competitors and we're playing a game and they're keeping score.
Mm-hmm.
And, we want to
win.
We want to win. We want to get in the playoffs. We want to win district championship. We want to play football in December and then let the chips fall where they may after that. So those are always going to be the goals. I'm never going to into a season saying, well, I just hope we all have fun and sing Kumbaya and do trust falls. I'm not going to do it. Right. We're going in to try to win, and we're going to work like crazy to get those goals. So
very good. I had another question, but I think I lost it.
You got to ask those questions.
Well, I will. One thing, or I guess a question is, what is the game day? I guess you don't really have a game day for Memorial, but what was a game day Friday from start to finish like for Coach Bindel?
I can tell you that boombox is blaring when I was walking.
So we're going to listen to some music. I love music. So a thing that we started doing in the mornings was in Coach Robert Doley, who's one of our athletic trainers at Ryder, Doc Monreal, who's athletic trainer at Ryder now. She's going to be with us at Memorial. They know because our offices are right next to each other. I would be blaring music and I like to hang the jerseys on the kids' lockers. So when they come in for the athletic period, fifth period, it's like, it's hanging up there, and it's ready to go. And then, depending on if it's a road game or a home game, we have a little walkthrough. And then when they come back after school, we walk through some special team stuff. We have some meetings, but then I think the best thing that we do is we have a little lights out session. And so about 20 minutes before we get on the bus to go to the stadium, we get in the locker room and we turn the lights out. And we just no talking to you. Focus on what you have to do tonight. And some kids can't listen to music out loud. Now you can put your AirPods in or whatever and listen to your music, but you focus on you. No talking to anybody else. You do your thing. And we turn the lights out. I mean, you can see a little bit, but it's quiet. And I think that helps them get mentally prepared to go into the game. And then I really like how we do our stretch lines, and the kids get excited, and then we get after it. So the atmosphere at Memorial Stadium is really good. They've updated the Jumbotron and done different things. And Chad Johnson does a great job with the atmosphere on Friday nights. He adds music in. It really does feel like a college game. And so I think about it, I start to get chills. I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
Refresh your ride during the Thrill of Summer sales event at Nissan of Wichita Falls. Come see our great lineup of new Nissans, including the all-new Nissan Rogue and the new 2024 Nissan Frontier. Nissan of Wichita Falls has a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles and a service staff of certified Nissan technicians, backed by the best parts department in Texoma. We're locally owned and operated with a sales team you can trust at Nissan of Wichita Falls.
So obviously, Big O's not here, but he does have a famous question he likes to ask everybody, and I guess I'll ask it. Since you're a coach, it's a twofold.
Twofold.
But what is Coach Bindel's favorite pregame meal?
Favorite pregame meal, man. I don't think I have one. I guess if I had to pick, I would say, because it's open on Fridays, I would go to Prine's and I would get a chopped beef sandwich, and extra barbecue sauce and one of those root beers that come in the glass mugs, not in a can, but in a glass.
A frosted
root beer. And
you said Prine's?
Prine's Barbecue. It's this small little hole in the wall downtown. It's been there for a long time. They're not open on Mondays for whatever reason, but they're open Fridays. You don't go. You just go in and get it and leave. There's nowhere to sit.
Tell the people in the camera.
Go.
You're getting sponsored. Give them a sponsorship, Prine's.
Now listen, if you will sponsor me, I promise we'll give you the business. Come be the official barbecue sandwich of Memorial football.
Ooh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Offers on the table.
It's on the table right here. You heard it here first. Okay, so barbecue, chopped beef. Can't beat that. That sounds good. Right now it sounds good. Second part of that twofold question is, what do you guys do, or how do you guys prepare the athletes? Do you guys do a pregame meal, or is it a postgame meal, and what's that all about?
So we do a pregame meal. We actually kind of schedule it around them. We let them go to lunch and let them go get their thing. But then we have light food, fruit, sandwiches, things like that they can eat. And it's kind of, I would say, a smorgasbord of food that they can come get. And then we also have food for them at halftime. Not big, but like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, some snacks. That way they're not hungry. Because early on when I was a head coach, I noticed, we were either going to eat like a real heavy meal and we were starting sluggish, or in the third and fourth quarter, they were getting hungry.
Yeah.
And so with high school kids, they can eat nonstop, and they stay hungry. And so we didn't want them thinking about how they weren't hungry. And so that's kind of one of the things that we do is we keep them fed throughout the night, and they've had a tendency to play better.
Very cool. Very cool. You got anything? You got another question?
No, I'm all out.
I love this table. Did y'all make this?
So my buddy Sean Peterman, graduated high school with him, went to the Air Force together. He's still in the Air Force, but he does some woodworking on the side. He actually is the one that designed our logo, and then we kind of shared the idea of putting the turf inside the sideline word. So Yeah, I mean, I like to brag on this table a lot. I think it's better than anything Joe Rogan has,
Yeah.
to be quite frank. But
That's our competition.
yeah, we compare ourselves to Joe Rogan. But yeah, I mean, if we don't have anything else, I thought I had maybe another question, but
No, and as I said to our other guests, special thank you, Coach Bindel, for coming out. You know, in our coaches chat, I got the name Podcast Pete from somebody, but
Not me.
no, not Coach Bindel, but he knows I think the world of him and the opportunities he's given me to help my career. And so if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today in Wichita Falls. And so I thank the world of him, and not just appreciative of you for coming to On the Sideline, but thank you for everything you're doing for me.
Well, thank you. And obviously, this is such a big deal that y'all are doing this for student athletes of Wichita Falls. I think anytime that you can get them exposure, brand exposure, things like that help them get just an extra boost, an extra step out the door, that they can go achieve their dreams at the next level is big. So thank y'all for doing this. I know it's a lot of work and probably goes unthanked, but thank y'all for doing this. This is big time.
yeah, I think we do get appreciated a lot, and
It's awesome.
we don't, we're not searching for that appreciation.
Yeah.
We're searching for things for the kids.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of been our whole driving factor, but it's good to also have people on the show like yourself that has clearly set the path for many kids in their athletic careers. Everybody knows you're a great coach. I appreciate
part of
you
that,
coming
thank
out.
you for saying that, but I'll tell you that we've had really, really good players that I've coached. I would not have been – I was the head coach probably because J.T. Barrett played quarterback at Ryder. I mean, I was the offensive coordinator and, with Coach Radke and Coach Wood, and we had J.T. Barrett as our quarterback. That helps.
I just talked to him this last weekend.
That helps a little bit. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
for sure. I mean, but
we've had really good
I don't
players.
know that you could ask any of those players and they wouldn't give credit to you and your staff. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Memorial Mavs football. I'm excited for that hat you're going to get me.
We're going to get you taken care of.
And
Get it taken care of, Coach Dillard.
wait, say that again.
Get it, Coach Dillard. We got to get a hat
Let's go.
on the
So,
sideline. Coach Hearn doesn't have one. He works. For
I
it.
know. Here I am.
hey, give me one first. It'll be fine. No, but real quick, Memorial Mavericks. You're wearing a hat that says Mavs, and you're a huge Dallas Mavericks fan.
Well, I knew that was.
And we have a huge Dallas Mavericks hater on the show. Do you want to say anything to him, like on the show?
I think
You.
I think God has decided
Yeah.
He's going to put it on his heart to you are a Maverick,
Yeah.
Coach Hearn.
Yeah.
You are a Maverick.
Oh yeah. Question is, if you got the Mavs hat, are you gonna wear it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a picture and put it as our profile picture.
I told Coach Bindel and I told my best friend Scooter Williams. I said, I guess now I have to say, "Let's go Mavs." So
Oh yeah, Mavs on top.
there you go.
Mavs on top. We're gonna say Mavs on top.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. Again, thanks for coming up here,
Yeah.
saving us a trip to the field. I know
Thanks
it's
for
hot
having us
out
on.
there.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot
Anytime.
of fun in the heat.
People need to come. You need to have people on. People need to see this. This is great.
We will. We got some big. We got some leads, but we're not planning to stop. We're just getting started. So,
Great.
but yeah, again, thanks for being here. Thanks for everything you do, and we'll be in touch. I mean,
Awesome. Thanks for having
it
me.
helps. It helps having a guy like you on the text message. So,
Yeah. Anything y'all need. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
all right, if you need anything from us, you let us know.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much. That's it.